Jimmy Gang, the Army, the Navy, the Unstoppable. Welcome back to another video with your guy, Gemini by Law, man. And welcome home to 03 Greedo, man. I don't know too much about 03 Greedo. I know just a little bit. But listen, that's what we here for, bro. We about to get a little bit more info on 03 Greedo, man. We gonna listen to his story, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna react to it. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna learn. Welcome home to 03 Greedo, though. He just came home. That's why I'm reacting to this, because, you know what I mean? Listen, I heard a little bit about his story, but like I said, I don't know that much. So we're gonna get right into it. We ain't gonna waste too much time, my boys. You know what I mean? Y'all know the vibes. If you got something, man, spark it up with me. Get, you know what I'm saying, comfortable, relax. Get what you need, man. Whatever it is your party favors. Y'all know me. I gotta have my blee. I got that. You know what I'm saying? I got me some water right here. We about to get right into it, man. Jimmy Gang. Shout out to Trap Lil Ross, man. That's the video I'm reacting to, man. Let's go.
Los Angeles, the Jordan Downs projects on Grape Street. But in 2017, he signed a deal with Alamo Records for $1.7 million, which really pissed him off because it was 300 racks shy of 2 mil. Oh, and also a year later, he'd be facing a 300-year sentence for trafficking 4 pounds of methamphetamine across state lines. This is the story of the Wolf of Grape Street. Many moons ago, before 03 Greedo was the Wolf of Grape Street, before becoming a living legend by literally tattooing living legend across his cheeks, and yes, that is a Mac 10 tattooed on his chin.
Let me see, dog. Nah, my boy do got some crazy ass tattoos, dog. Nigga got a fucking, what's that, an AK underneath his lip? Bruh, yeah, that nigga got crazy ass tattoos, gang.
Just a young boy growing up in the rough parts of Los Angeles. And it was here that a young Greedo would be introduced to that famous blue rag rockin' set of gangsters, the Crips. Saying himself that his own father, who unfortunately passed away when Greedo...
You know, in LA, man, gangbanging is like goddamn culture, nigga. You know how in Texas niggas drink lean. In New York, niggas like playing with guns and dancing and shit like that. What else we do in New York? Fuck bitches, get fly. You know what I mean? In New York, it's just like a get fly thing. Knuckle up. You know what I mean? That's New York shit. In Cali, nigga, gangbanging, nigga. Gangbanging. What y'all niggas like to do? Gangbanging, nigga. Straight up, nigga. Ain't Of course, niggas gangbanging in New York too, nigga. But that Cali shit, nigga, like, for real, that shit really in your blood, nigga.
Only 1 year old, was apparently one of the very first Crips in the city.
My father was one of the first Crips. You know what I'm saying? My father ran with Turkey, so...
But if you think losing your main male role model out of your life when you're only 1 year old is bad, just wait till you hear what else Greedo went through as a boy. In fact,
hold up. Did y'all see the nigga? What the fuck this nigga got? Yo, what this nigga got going on? Look at this nigga. Look at this nigga, bro. Yo, see, I fuck with Trap Lil Ross though, bro, because he a funny nigga, bro. Like, he be all this shit a game to him, like. I fuck with Trap Lil Ross because he a funny white boy. Like, he know the vibes. He know he ain't no part of this type of culture type shit, but he had fun with it. You know what I mean? I respect it. I would never do no shit like this. But fuck it, man. Go ahead, Trap Lil Ross, man. I mean, let's see if the Lokes like that shit. Let's see if the Lokes find it funny. You know what I mean? But yeah. Shit, that's Trap Lil Ross, man. At least Trap Lil Ross, bro, I respect the nigga. You know why? Because at least the nigga show his face on his channel. You know, he not hiding from nobody. He say his stories. He give his opinion. You know what I mean? I fuck with that. Instead of like some of these other niggas who be hiding their face. Like, niggas come do a whole interview on no jumping and shit, hiding their face after they done talked about niggas on the internet, said nigga. White boys saying nigga and shit, but won't show their face. That's weird to me. But my fault. I'm on a tangent. Let's get back to 03 Greedo.
Grape Street. So eventually, he had to start selling drugs to support his young family after being kicked out of his mother's house. This actually even led him to infamously spend some time homeless on the streets of Los Angeles, a fate that I probably wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Now, of course, Greedo moved around a lot during these formative years of his life.
I ain't gonna lie, my nigga. If you ain't never been homeless in your life, my nigga, if you ain't never had nowhere to sleep, you had to sleep in your car or sleep on somebody's couch, or my nigga, that's just a lucky motherfucking thing, dog. I definitely done been there before, nigga. I done slept in my car many nights, nigga. That's no cap. Not this car. It's a long time ago, but yeah, nigga. Me and my green Infinity, nigga. Yeah, we done got through some shit together, man. Shout out to all the bros that let me sleep at their crib too.
in between sleeping on the street, sleeping at girls' houses, or copping a couch at one of his homies. But eventually, he would settle down in the Jordan Downs housing projects in Watts. Now, this is a notoriously dangerous hood. Parts of the classic LA gangbanging epic menace to society were actually filmed there, but even more impressive to me specifically, the Jordan Downs projects were actually digitally recreated in the iconic video game Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, appearing in-game as the Willowfield housing projects. Now, Jordan Downs was, funnily enough, also a flashpoint for the Watts riots back in the 60s, which if you want to know more about, I actually discussed extensively in my documentary on the history of rap in LA, where your boy actually...
Yeah, that's crazy, dog. Watts is real. Watts get it in. I watched a documentary probably a year ago or something like that. Way before I was doing YouTube, bro. I was the same stuff I'm doing now with y'all. I've been doing. You know what I mean? I've been just learning stuff about other cultures, other places, bro. I watched a video on Watts, bro. That shit is real out there, bro.
Went to Watts. Anywho, of course, you'd have had to been literally living underneath a crack rock to have never heard about the blue rocking gangsters, the Crips, who roll deep in the streets of LA. However, the Crips on Grape Street, which runs parallel to the Jordan Downs housing projects, do things a little differently. There, they rock purple bandanas instead of blue, because, you know, grapes are purple. Well, the good ones, anyway. Now, the Grape Street Crips have had a historical beef with the...
We're going to skip through all of this extra history and all that he talking about. We trying to just talk. We just want to hear about my son 03 Greedo right now. You know what I'm saying?
Projects, selling dope on the block and coming up the hard way. But even after he found himself a stable place to live and hustle from, the bullshit would continue and he would struggle year after year, toiling in the streets, trying to improve the circumstances for him and his family. And I tell you what, these years weren't kind to Greedo. He was catching gun charges and burglary charges, with him eventually finding himself in the slammer serving a 2-year sentence, where he would spend his time writing songs and eventually come up with the idea that when he got out of jail, he would make a proper go of it in the music industry, hopefully using his talent as a performer and songwriter to get himself out of the streets for good. So when he got out of jail, he started making music regularly, initially under the stage name Greedy Giddy. And under this name, he would drop numerous mixtapes, become a prolific SoundCloud uploader, and appear in numerous hood vlogs. Now, this era of Greedo's career isn't necessarily...
That SoundCloud era, bro. That SoundCloud era, bro. Niggas don't know about that SoundCloud era, bro. Shit, every hood nigga know about SoundCloud. Shit, every hood nigga done put a song on SoundCloud. Every hood nigga done rap before. I don't want to hear this. Man, nigga, y'all niggas don't rap before. Even if you never recorded a song, nigga, you tried to rap. You wrote a rap and let your mans hear it. Or you was too pussy to let your mans hear it. A lot of y'all niggas, you know what I'm saying?
In what he is today, and I gotta say, the track Potheads and Strippers kind of a vibe.
This body is the strip, California summer snow, 40s body is the strip. Fresh up out the pussy, fresh up out of jail. 8 months for the toolie, I just started 2012.
Now, Greedy's mixtape run started with Sign My Cast. This was followed by I Can't Sleep, the teaser tape, then 4 editions of a mixtape series called Bipolar, and after that was Everybody Week Volume 1 and 2. With all of those leading up to the final release...
That's one thing I also know about Greedo. He put out a lot of music. That's one thing for sure. He put out a lot of music. He not one of them niggas that be sitting on music for Melanie. He gonna put that shit out.
On the 28th of June, 2016, Greedy Greedo and another man were driving a 2016 Nissan through Amarillo, Texas on the I-40. Now, remember at the start of this story when I said that there was a big drug line that ran from the Peter Roll Mafia in Memphis, Tennessee to the Grape Street Crips in Watts, Los Angeles? Well, that drive from Memphis back to Grape Street unfortunately cuts through the panhandle at the North Texas. And it would appear that this night, Greedy Greedo and his friend were graping their way through Texas with bad intentions. Cops pulled them over and claimed to be able to smell cannabis from their car. And while the driver admitted to the police that they had indeed been smoking the green stuff in the vehicle, it would turn out that harmless marijuana would be the least of their problems, as cops eventually made their way through the vehicle, ultimately forcing open the trunk, where they found 4 pounds of methamphetamine, which they claimed was worth upwards of $80,000.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Why would you be smoking a blunt in a car that you got $80,000 worth of work in the trunk? Bro, I ain't gonna lie, niggas smoking weed is not that important, my nigga. When I used to be on my road trips, cause yes, I ain't even gonna lie, nigga, I'm past that. I don't do that shit no more. Back in the day when I used to do my little road trips, getting my money, doing my little nigga, the one thing I was not gonna do, I tell myself, nigga, get high before the trip, nigga. Make sure you smoked enough before the trip, nigga, cause you're not sparking up on the road, nigga. You're not about to get pulled over. They might just give you a motherfucking ticket, but once they smell weed, once they smell the trees, nigga, you just gave them niggas all the rights to search your motherfucking whip, nigga. Now you going to jail, nigga, for wild time. Like, I don't understand why niggas do that, bro. I never understood that, bro. Even when niggas is in the whip blicked up. No. No, nigga, you're not smoking no bud in this car so they could want to search my car, possibly, you know, come on, my nigga, we're not doing that. No. Let's get back to the shit, man.
Realistically, that's a very conservative estimate. This 4-pound bag of loose meth could have easily netted the wolves in Grape Street hundreds of thousands of dollars if it was being sold hand-to-hand back on the streets of LA. I mean, honestly, just look at the size of that bag. 03 Greedo is probably the first person to be facing life for a bag for life. Then again, considering how many songs this guy records in a session, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to say it was personal use. I know what you're thinking. Getting caught with 4 pounds of loose meth in Texas, it probably can't get much worse than that. But ladies and gentlemen, it really did. Because in addition to meth, pistols and ammunition were found in the vehicle, with these guns having been reported stolen in the state of California.
Bruh. Why? I don't understand niggas, man. Niggas. It's niggas, bro. Only niggas gonna know we got wild burners on us, dirty burners. We got wild, dirty burners on us. We got the work in the trunk, 80K worth, that if we break down, we can make hundreds of thousands in the hood. But we smoking blunts on the road. Come on, my nigga. Niggas with face tattoos and all this extra shit. You know you probably gonna get pulled over just because you look like how you look. We gotta start. Come on, my nigga. Like, bro, stereotype yourself, nigga. Stereotype yourself. Do you look like you should get pulled over? Aight then, nigga. Stereotype yourself sometimes. Like, bro.
All of this together did not look good for our pal Greedo. Greedo was ultimately charged with unlicensed possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of over 400 grams of a controlled substance. And after spending 8 days in a jail in Amarillo, Texas, Greedo was released on bond and returned to LA sans meth. Look, who knows what the repercussions in the street were for losing that 4-pound batch of meth. So when Greedo got out of jail, it was a wise move to make a fresh start and think of a way to somehow get his life back on track. And it was at this point that Greedo would transform himself. From a grimy Grape Street narcotics trafficker to a prolific musician and artist who would make money by selling his stories of being involved in a dangerous and violent narcotics operation rather than actually participating in it. But even with that honorable strategy in mind, one question still remained. Would it already be too late for Greedo to get his redemption? In 2016, Greedy Greedo was reborn under a different name, 03 Greedo. This was apparently the merging of his nickname 03 in jail, which comes from his set of the Grape Street Crips being based in 103rd Street, because if you didn't know, the Jordan Downs project is bounded by...
I should have known that shit had something to do with his gang. Like, I should have known his name wasn't just 03 Greedo for no reason. I should have known that had something to do with his gang, bro. Shout out to 03 Greedo, man. That nigga, man, I ain't gonna lie. That nigga came from a lot. Just... looking at this whole picture right now, knowing what the nigga been through, getting sent up the road, doing his time, staying solid. Now he home, bro. Niggas like this, you gotta salute. But let's keep going.
Grape Street on the west, 97th Street in the north, and 103rd Street from the south. So with that in mind, he also flipped the greedy part of his name to Greedo as part of another block tradition to replace the Y with an O, all as part of a strategy for him to make his stage name more unique. And under this fresh new name, he would begin to record his biggest songs and mixtapes to date. Most notably was his breakout single Mafia Business, a tribute to his fallen Grape Street homie Mafia Ray. This was an older homie who was like a mentor to Greedo.
Soon as 03 dropped a new song, y'all know we reacting, bro. Y'all know we reacting. I'm here trying to support him, so y'all know when he drop a new song, man, I'm reacting, because gotta show love.
Growing up. And he was actually one of the first people from their hood to start supporting Greedo's music. His real name was Raymond Lee Arnold, a father...
I'm gonna skip ahead
Going back again, it's fucked up, but it is what it is. I'm out on bail.
We're back.
Money fresh out the hospital, I'm fresh out of jail.
Show money. Then
Did he have the tattoos here?
Fresh out the pussy. Money fresh out the hospital, I'm fresh out the jail.
On December the 2nd,
I don't think Greedo had the
2016,
tattoos here.
Lil Money was tragically gunned down while sitting in his car on Watts, with Greedo writing the track Murder Music literally the day after he found out his friend passed. That ended up on Money Changes Everything, a project which also included the first appearance of Greedo's future banger, Never Bend. So at this point, Greedo was beginning to pick up a little buzz in the streets of Los Angeles, and so he continued grinding on new projects, eventually finishing up his next one, Purple Summer 03. However, only 2 days after completing that project, 03 Greedo was apprehended by Texas bounty hunters, with Greedo being extradited back to Amarillo to face charges over that meth case. Greedo's homies actually took a picture of this arrest going down, which itself ended up becoming the front cover of that Purple Summer 03 project. That's gangster. A fire cover art, sure,
just like
but
a
the true
gangster.
story about 03 Greedo's extradition to Texas is much more grisly than you might think. Because after this picture was taken, Greedo was thrown into a van and driven for 6 long days to Texas. An excruciating ordeal, more akin to torture than
Nigga said driven for 6 whole days. Like, bruh. I know it don't take no damn 6 days. Like, Charles put a nigga up in a hotel. Nigga, I was not driving for 6 days. There's no way. I could get from New York City to California in less than 6 days. No cap. I know my niggas that drove from PA. Niggas drove from, like, the Philly area to, like, Miami. My sons did that in, like, a day or a day and a half for 2, some shit like that. So I know niggas could drive to Cali in less than 6 days. That's wild, boy. I mean, Texas from Cali, like, yeah.
With Greedo spending this entire trip crammed into the back of a van with other inmates, with Greedo spending the whole trip in searing agony from his still serious leg injury, whilst him and the other inmates in the van were given no bathroom to use and being forced to start bottling homemade lemonade, if you know what I mean. And eventually, when he arrived to court, Greedo's situation would go from bad to worse. There, he would receive the news that he would definitely be facing trial in 2018, still being held on those counts of unlicensed possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of over 400 grams of a controlled substance. With some suggestions.
Bro, over 400 grams? 400 Grammys, though? 400 Grammys? Yeah, they be trying to fry niggas. You could have 20 grams, I mean. And niggas is gonna fry you. At least in New York. 20 grams will get you fried in New York. They gonna you gonna do some time for 20 grams, especially if it's not your first charge.
But worst case scenario, 03 Greedo could be facing a whopping 300-year sentence if convicted on these charges. Those ain't football numbers, those are goddamn Spartan numbers. However, there was one piece of good news. At least Greedo would be allowed to bail out and return to LA whilst awaiting his date in court. So he was back on the streets in LA with a sentence hanging over his head so long that he might have to keep serving it in the afterlife. So, with all of this on his mind, Greedo would once again have to make a transformation. But this time, it wasn't his name, but his mindset that changed. Because he probably knew that based on the evidence against him, he was shit out of luck. But with the momentum that he had built up so far in the rap game since he started rapping under the name 03 Greedo, he had an opportunity to go back to Grape Street and record so much music that he might just have a chance to keep his family financially stable for that 300 years. Do you remember Purple Summer 03?
This is probably when he started going crazy. This is probably when he started dropping mad music. This is probably, you know what I'm saying? I know he made mad music, but this is probably the time he started just dropping all nuts like that. We know like how much he was dropping at one point.
That front cover where Greedo was being arrested by bounty hunters to be taken to Texas. Well, when he got out and dropped his follow-up project First Night Out, he picked up exactly where that one left off, dropping this more R&B inspired project with a front cover that depicted Greedo the moment he was released and allowed to walk out of that Texas jail. This entire project was apparently all recorded the night that he got out, with it including some of the biggest bangers of his career, such as Rude, Fucking Garbage. But then again, if you look, unlike other rappers, most of them would be good. What Greedo was doing was essentially trying to establish Greedo's reputation as a straight talker who kept it more gangster than the entire rap. Greedo would soon see everything that he had worked for come crashing down in only a matter of months, as that Texas case would come rearing its ugly head once again, with the consequences to Greedo being ultimately devastating. In January 2018, 03 Greedo was named by Billboard magazine as one of the 10 top hip-hop and R&B artists to watch in 2018. Unfortunately, this went for the feds as well as the fans. After all, between being generously let out on bail and returning to Texas for his trial, he had quite literally amassed millions of dollars. By the time Greedo went back to Texas...
See, that's how you really get to it. That boy went nuts. Nigga went and made millions of dollars off his music. Fire.
A changed man. He changed his life and finally gotten the opportunity to take himself and his people out of the mud for generations. And well, the feds apparently didn't like seeing Greedo all up in Billboard like that. Greedo told Fader magazine that he only started getting big years thrown at him by the feds when they found out he was a rapper. And if you believe this, and you consider the evidence against Greedo, going to trial would have likely seen the feds try to make an example of him, pushing for that 300-year super sentence. So, in April 2018, Greedo appeared in a court in Amarillo, Texas, where he pled guilty to both charges and was handed a rough 20-year sentence. After the sentence was handed down, a heartbroken Greedo...
20 years, man. 20 years. Sheesh, bro. I'm telling you, bro. You get caught with that work, and he got caught with guns too, man. Never thought I'd have to retire the year I blew up, but shit was fun.
seen tweeting that he never thought he'd have to retire the year he blew up, and he later took to social media to address a few rumors specifically, denying that he'd been given a full life sentence and revealing to the fans that the one silver lining to this situation was that the feds had at least given him a few months to get his affairs in order before he would have to return to jail.
Not in jail. No, I'm not in jail. I'm not lying about being in jail. The media line. I don't have life. I do have a lot of time. I ain't going to the summertime. I'm fucking with you. Let's turn up till I'm gone. I'm not in fucking jail. You think I'm gonna just go to jail, take the deal, and then just say, take me now? No, nigga, give me some extra time, nigga. Let me go on tour. Let me get this money right for my kid.
Greedo also tweeted that day that he's got a whole bunch of music to tide over fans while he's gone, and I'm sure you can imagine that in the months between his sentence being handed down and him starting it, he must have recorded like an absolute madman. Right up to his incarceration, he was dropping music, with the last big project that he was actually here to deliver in person being the God Level project that was released in June 2018. At the time, Greedo described this album as his best work. I mean, you'd have to. You are literally saying you are on the same level as God. And I tell you what, God never dropped a trash song in his life. I mean, sure, that New Testament didn't bang like his old mixtape, but anyway. Also, in a move that's so ironic it literally hurts my bones, after trashing Tupac in numerous interviews, Greedo basically stole the whole cover art for this project from Tupac's 7 Day Theory. Maybe that was just one last big fuck you to Tupac, I don't know. Anywho, regardless, Greedo grinded his music.
Yo, why so many people hate Tupac, bro? Like, so many people coming out, like, they just, niggas didn't respect Tupac, bro. Like, I hear that shit a lot. I still fuck with Pac. I like his music, but even if he wasn't a street nigga for real in the beginning, that's like a lot of y'all niggas. A lot of y'all niggas didn't start off as street niggas, like, you know what I mean? Some of y'all niggas didn't grow up like that. Y'all just, you know?
Right up until the bitter end. This included playing his final farewell show at LA's Belasco Theatre, the Farewell to a Real One show, a night that I'm sure nobody in the audience or Greedo would ever forget.
So if I go through 20 years, you feel me? Man, I got 2 options in a few days, man. I can turn myself in or run for my life!
I mean, the show was just crazy. There was an incredible performance from Greedo, along with some insanely hilarious moments. Big girls were trying to knuckle up in the crowd.
Hey! Calm down, baby!
You got the big girls fighting? You got the big girls getting it in? Shit, ain't nothing like a big girl. Ain't nothing like a big girl face-off. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a heavyweight match.
Stage, one who was ironically wearing a goddamn Tupac shirt.
You got a Tupac shirt!
And girls were even trying to flash their titties for Greedy.
Hide your nipples, baby. Hide your nipples. Your nipples out.
But Greedo wasn't trying to see those titties, because in a surprise move near the end of the show, Greedo got down on one knee and actually proposed for his girlfriend on stage, with her agreeing to be his wife only 2 days before he was set to go and serve that 20-year sentence.
That's real nigga shit. That's real nigga shit, though. I ain't gonna lie. That's just like a nigga, though, ain't it? That's just like a nigga, bro. Love your shorty, be riding with her, all that. Niggas ain't thinking about getting married, though. But when you know you about to go behind the wall, listen, her legally being your girl changes everything. You need them conjugals. You need all that. You need that access. Yes, you need that. I need to get in there. So, yeah. That's what niggas do, man. Listen, I fuck with it, bro.
Now, that's a real one. But even off the stage, Greedo was in the studio right up until the very moment of his sentence, with his last outing in the studio being an iconic session where Greedo met up with Smoke Perp, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Pump, and Desto Dub, recording some of his very last pieces of music before he was set to go away for 20 years. And it was this session that spawned tracks like Bank Teller and the big Lil Uzi Vert remix of Never Bend. However, naturally, at some point, the party would have to come to a close. So on July 28th, 2018, after his final show, his final session, and his final taste of the stardom that he had spent years to build, Greedo surrendered himself to authorities to begin serving his 20-year sentence. The sentence that he's still serving to this day. Greedo's currently being held in the Coffee prison in Texas. He told...
Not no more. Not no more. That boy is free now. You can't say that no more. That boy is home, man. Free. Man, listen, man, we don't want to see no black men, no brown men. We don't want to see nobody behind the wall, man. Listen, it's better places to be. I mean, keep the freaks and the weirdos. The freaks and the weirdos, keep them niggas. You know what I'm saying? We don't give a fuck about them niggas. But like, yeah, the real ones, we don't want to see nobody behind the wall, man. You heard? Jimmy Gang, man, I'm going to leave it there. You saw the story, man. We don't even got to watch the rest because Greedo is home and the rest of this video is about his bid. The boys home, man. Hope y'all got acclimated. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Jimmy Gang, man. Like the video. Comment for me. I'm here, man. Make sure you subscribe. We drop videos every day, multiple times a day. Putting in that work on this side. Jimmy Gang. From the Bronx all the way to LA. You know what I'm saying? I'm gone.